Hey guys, greetings to you. Matt Robinson here, founder of the Professional Investors Guild. Welcome to this month's edition of Ask the Pig, and my question comes today from James, and he posted on the website. He asked this question. He says, would it be better for me to buy from distressed sellers or buy foreclosures? And that's a really great question. Before I get to the answer, I just want to remind all of you guys, if you're not members or you're not subscribers to our email list, you can do that just so you can get information on any of our meetings, online resources, webinars, videos like this by going over to Pig Free Gift. That's www.pigfreegift.com. When you head over there, you'll get a couple of free great investing resources valued at well over $100. Those are yours free just for signing up so that we can stay in touch with you and let us know what we got going on at the Professional Investors Guild. But back to James' question. And James, I tell you what, this one is a slam dunk, one of the easiest questions I've ever had, because the answer is definitely motivated sellers. It's not even a close one there. Buying from motivated or distressed sellers beats trying to buy homes that have already been foreclosed on, hands down, bar none, whatever other cliche I can come up with. And the main reason, I'll get into a couple of reasons here, but the main reason is how many more options you have. Basically, when you buy an REO property, your option is to buy it or not buy it, okay? The bank has foreclosed on it. They've done their appraisal. They've determined their value. They put it on the open market, and your only option is buy it, strictly either with cash or a loan, take title to the property, you own it, you do with it what you're going to do, right? There aren't a ton of options. However, when you purchase from distressed sellers, there are a litany of options. You still have, depending on how much equity they may or may not have, you still have a ton of options. Of course, first and foremost, we all have the option of buying it cash, right? And that is across the board. You can do that no matter what. But something else you can do is if it's over leveraged, once it's already been foreclosed on, you don't have the option to do a short sale. But if it's over leveraged, even if you can't pay cash because there's no equity, you can do a short sale. And the benefit to doing a short sale, as opposed to the other route, is that when you're doing a short sale, you have this long time frame, because oftentimes short sales take 4 to 6 months. You have this really long time frame to try to find another buyer to flip that property to. And so if you are a wholesaler or a flipper, somebody who doesn't want to take title to the property, maybe you don't have the money to be able to take title to the property, this gives you more options because you're able to tie that property up and flip it. Now, you can sometimes do that with REOs as well, but the short sale gives you this additional amount of time. Something else the short sale gives you is more control and involvement when it comes to the valuation of that property. One of the most difficult things about the REO world is that, that whole process takes place without you. So the property's foreclosed on, they typically will order an appraisal, and then they send that off to a realtor that lists REO properties as, somebody they've established a relationship with. It then gets listed on the open market. So you really have no control in that process. When you do the short sale, you're the point person as the investor, or as the person that's negotiating the short sale. You're the point person for the short sale. So you're the one that deals with the seller. You're the one that has your property listed, either yourself as a realtor or you're working with a realtor in your market. Additionally, you're the one who's going to meet this BPO agent out there, point out the flaws, point out the deficiencies, bring comparable sales that are hopefully going to bring the value to a place where it makes sense for an investor to buy it. You don't have that ability when you're dealing with an REO property. Some of the other things, I just got a couple of quick notes here. You can take the property subject to. So, of course, if the lis pendens has not been filed or a notice of default in your state, you can take that property subject to, bring the payments current, and take over the mortgage and take control of the property there, leveraging the existing mortgage so you have less money out of pocket. You could do a lease option. You can wholesale the property and earn an assignment. See, one of the things people don't understand is that when you start dealing with REO properties, most of them, if not all of them, will not allow you to assign the property. Okay, so if you give them a contract that says it's assignable, or says usually they'll have an addendum even that they make you sign that says this property is not assignable. So if you want to flip it, your only option is a double closing. However, when you're dealing beforehand, the seller or the distressed seller or the owner, they could care less whether you assign it. Half the time they don't even know what an assignment is. As long as you close on it, that's all they care about. So if there's equity on the property, or you create equity through a short sale, now in a short sale you can't assign it, you're in the same double closing situation. But if there's equity and it's a distressed seller, you have the opportunity to do a wholesale and do an assignment without the extra expenses and fees that come from a double closing, which can oftentimes eat into your profit. So that that's a big thing. The other thing is, just a couple of other quick things, is that you don't have earnest money deposit when you're dealing with a distressed seller. On all my short sales, on all my wholesale deals, we typically put down $0 or $10 token consideration, because distressed sellers they just want out of their situation, right? You come in, you're the white knight, you're coming in to buy their house, they want to move on, get on with their life. You've pitched yourself and your services. They just want to buy. They want you to buy it, right? They'll sign the contract. They'll sign whatever you put in front of them. Most of them are not savvy enough or even worried about trying to play hardball on earnest money deposit. And so for those of you who may not have a ton of money to put down an earnest money deposit, and you're new to the business, and you can't be going out and making 5 and 10 offers with $500 earnest money deposits on all of them, that's what's required of you if you look at REOs. Sometimes if you say you're a cash buyer on an REO, they want 10% of the purchase price, which could run thousands of dollars. But at the very minimum, they're going to require $500 to $1,000 earnest money deposit. You don't have that requirement typically when you're dealing with distressed sellers. And the last thing I would say, and this may be the most obvious, of course, options, additional options is a huge one. But really another important one is, the reason why we market, the reason we spend money on marketing in order to find these deals is so that we get to the distressed sellers before anybody else does. I mean, not having competition is a huge benefit. You can structure the deal in a way that is most advantageous to you. Now, that doesn't always work. Sometimes if you're running an ad in a local newspaper and there's 4 or 5 ads, sometimes that person calls all 4 or 5 of you, and so there are a few people competing for that one deal, and maybe you got to sweeten the pot or make the deal a little better if you want to get it. But when you're dealing with an REO, it's listed on the MLS. It's open to, hedge funds and big institutional investors and everybody in your city. And in fact, everybody in the world who has internet access is able to see this property is available. So if you live in an area like Miami or Arizona or California where international buyers from Russia and China and other places are looking, you're competing with all these people. You're competing with the 7.3 billion people on the planet for this one deal, which is always limited supply, huge demand is always going to drive the price up. But if it's just you and you've sent out a letter that's got that seller to respond to you and it's just you and them, you're always, with less competition, going to be able to structure a deal that's most advantageous to you. Of course, always still a win-win situation, something that the seller's happy with, but also something where you can make money and continue growing your business. So hopefully, James, that helps you out, and of course, hopefully that helps all the rest of you that are watching this video as well. Again, if you want to join our mailing list, go to pigfreegift.com. Or you can always subscribe here to our YouTube videos and get notices anytime we post a new one. God bless you guys. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.